Hey folks, Rob here with another Rob Plays, and this week, to wrap out C64 month, it's time for a look at Lemmings. I wanted to do this, I was originally planning to do this as a full scripted review, but ultimately, I just ran out of time this week. I've been horrendously busy with my day job, and I just ran out of time to even I had some footage captured, but I needed to capture more. I hadn't even looked at doing a script, and things just broke. So I'm going to do this in the normal format. I think it's a good alternative because we've had 2 scripted reviews this month, but we've also had 2 gameplays. So Lemmings, of course, you'd have just seen the intro, was converted by E&E Software, a Dutch development team. I believe they may have had demo connections, and published by Psygnosis in 1993. The interesting thing is that the conversion took that long simply, I mean, from what I remember reading in some development diaries, they actually took about a year to get a deal in place, and then another year to develop the game. So I guess that's not too bad a timeline. I mean, I'm still surprised this big a conversion came out that late. Because truth be told, by 1993 the 64 market was dead, and actually getting Lemmings tends to be quite hard. And I've seen disc copies go for stupid amounts of money. I thought in showing this I'd let the full intro run, so it's actually loading it bit by bit. So yeah, you obviously know Lemmings, you know. You obviously know Lemmings, you know, the 120 levels of little guys clad in blue and save them from lots of troubling torture. One of the things I like the 64 version here is we've actually got the intro. As a kid, I actually played a lot of the PC DOS version when I got my first DOS machine, and that actually doesn't have this at all. You just start it up, it does its disk copy protection check, and you're straight on the main menu. It's one of those things that, to me, elevates the 64 version up as just being a labour of love. The crew from E&E, I think, just put an amazing amount of effort into this, when really they didn't need to at such a late stage of the game. So one of the things I like as well is, as I said, all the levels here are all 120. Like, they're squished and tweaked a bit for some of the tech limitations, but we'll see as we get in. But they put all that effort in. So, and one of the other really things I love, and unfortunately I just haven't had time to set this up properly, but Lemmings on the 64 also fully supports mice, so you could actually plug your Commodore 1351 in, and I've done that on occasion, and it's a dream with playing it. But regretfully this time around I'll just be using the joysticks to do everything, and truth be told, the joystick control scheme actually works really nice here. Alright, so we've done the intro, we're loading again. Once we get into the game, it's actually a lot faster. But I thought actually having the experience of seeing the intro sequence, doing the copy protection thing, so I am flipping to find the right pages in the manual to actually grab that. Hey, that's one of the things here. I try to give you the best experience as I can. As I'm flipping through the manual, I find it hilarious that there's a talk of a virus warning. Obviously, that's a reprint of something that would have been in the manual for the Amiga and ST versions, but I thought we were a little immune from that on the 64. Okay. Correlation code entered, and here we are, main menu. Again, you've got the full on menu. You can review the intro, you can start the game, you can turn the music or sound effects on. I don't know why you turn the music off, as it's one of the last games that had Jerome Tell doing the music. So, good old Maniacs of Noise, and use the cursor keys to set which of the 4 levels you want, and as always, you start from the first one there. So, let's just play fun. And it's going to be another disc swap, so give me a moment here, and we'll swap disc and we'll get going. So let's let that load, and we'll see how we go. As I said, once you get in, the loading tends to be a little faster. I mean, I'm using disc dumps here, because tape, I'm not going to sit there and view this off tape. So, you get the classic start screen, just like on the other versions. You know, you've got your drop count, the number you have to save, the rate, and so let's go. So the first thing is sort of accommodating how all this works is the narrow screen area. You're going to notice that, and it's actually a technical decision, which is a rather cool one. So on the 16 bits, Lemmings really relies on just having a nice bitmap screen display, and with that you can easily deform the level as you use the various tools. Here you can't really do it on the 64. Bitmap graphics just aren't fast enough. So as a result, what they decided to do was actually use sprites. So the actual playfield is made out of C64 hardware sprites, multiplexed to, have the right number. So it means it's basically 7 by 24 wide, because you have the cursor as an 8th sprite. All the Lemmings themselves are actually characters, so it's like just manipulating a bunch of characters on screen and mutating them to move them around. And it actually works really well within the C64's limits. But that's the first stage done. Let's get on to number 2. And so, of course, now that technique, it does have its limitations. And on some of the later stages, you can sort of see that. So again, let's level 2 with the floaters, another short one. Controls themselves with the joystick is really based around using the joystick to select, fire, because you don't get that rapid movement that you'd get with the mouse. To actually set your Lemmings abilities, it's on the keyboard. So, 1 for climber, 2 for floater, 3 for bomber, 4 for blocker, 5 for builder, 6 for basher, 7 for miner, and 8 for digger. Shift block handles the pause, plus or minus increase the drop rate, and double tap insert delete, and you can nuke him. That's another stage done. These early stages do get a bit easy, but it introduces everything, and I really always appreciated the game design of Lemmings and how it introduced all the Lemmings abilities to you. Each stage just lets you focus on one, and you can really learn how this works. And I admittedly here the map here doesn't show the platforms, which is annoying, but well, you get used to it. Oops. You can sort of see, you get the character. On the the Amiga and the 16 bits, it was like 5 screen wide, and here they've kept it to 2 just for memory and processing limitations. But again, it works really well here. The solutions that I'm doing here still feel just as valid as what I do, on the Amiga or the PC. And we've got them all through. Let's just increase the drop rate. And you can sort of see, now I increase the drop rate to let the last few out, you can see it's starting to slow down a bit. And that's probably the biggest flaw of the game, is really, at times it feels a little too much for the humble 64. So, oh well, we'll get to see nuking in a moment, because we've got to nuke these poor blockers. Sacrifice themselves for their friends. But yeah, the play area, you get used to it, and I can see, people could probably get a little disappointed by it. Yeah, time to nuke them. But yeah, again, it's hardware limits, and I think it compensates it really well, because the game is nice and playable. And, I mean, that's really, as it's called, I think, I have to admit, playing this and hunting down a copy a few months ago, kind of is sort of a bittersweet kind of thing for me, because, when Lemmings came out, late 93, I was 12 or so, and I remember reading Commodore Force and Commodore format, and watching the reviews and the diaries. And, there's the one level demo that was off, well, both magazines had a demo at one stage or another, and playing at least one of those, the Commodore format one, which is a later from a later part of the game, and I can remember, realizing that this is sort of, that was the moment where the 64, commercial scene was over, because This was, along with Alien 3, is probably the last AAA game we ever got commercially. Like, again, at least my influence was very heavily in following the UK side of things rather than, parts of other parts of Europe, or, in America it long died with the console rise. But yeah, but at that point it's sort of like it was the end. This is sort of the end of a wide and colourful history of a rather wonderful microcomputer. But you know what? If you're going to go out, you go out in style. And as I've been saying throughout this vid, Lemmings on the 64 certainly lives up to that. Keep playing another few stages, I think. I really love the way the controls work. Even on joystick, this game isn't one that really should work with a joystick, but I just think it works beautifully here. Alright, level 5. And and there hasn't been a semblance of brown, as, detractors always love to throw out and about. But yeah, all the levels so far, they feel perfect. They feel converted accurately, with the changes. Truth be told, a lot of those changes have probably been in later levels. I've never finished Lemmings, mind you. Like I said, I've never finished it either on the PC or on this or on anything, really. I feel like I'm being disappointed for admitting that, but hey, that is what you expect. I mean, I got quite a fair way through on the PC, but heck, I don't know if I can boot my copy up in DOSBox because copy protection. Copy protection. That's a rant for another day. So let's kind of got this level in the back, so let's increase the flow rate. It's still such an amazing technical effort that they brought this over. Good music, a little less effects. Presentation's nice, yeah. Disc loading is actually superior, even on tape. Even on tape, I remember it being pretty quick to load the levels, but you still just have to deal with tape, so why I chose to load a disc image for this. And yeah, I mean, Lemmings is a title that I think is a pioneering puzzle game, and it's one you've got to check out. And as I said, I can check it out on this machine, and hashtag winning, as the kids would say. Alright, let's see. Let's load level 7 up. I'll just drop. Alright. It's a shame the samples were cut. I remember reading the dev diaries and they talked about actually they're actually planning to have the, the Let's Go, the Oh No samples in there. And while it sucks that they didn't make it in, it's still so cool that they at least attempted. And again, it just reminds me that this game was in fact a labour of love. Oh yeah, we're starting to get a bit of slowdown now. Now regardless, you have to just be impressed with the detail. I mean, and I have a lot of respect for Psygnosis actually bringing this to production so late in the commercial life. Because memory serves, the other 8-bits got their conversions a lot earlier. And so because of that, while those machines were still in their, descending stages of commercial viability, the 64 held on a little longer. And as I said, we got this at the end, and it was a pretty good way to end. I do wish I had passwords for levels handy. I might have started a little later on. This one's always a frustrating one. least you get the little clicks to know that. Yeah, you can sort of see the limitations of this part of the level is actually really good to sort of talk about some of the limits of the 64 version in terms of the port. As you can sort of see, like those 3 lemmings that are trapped in the little well there that I'm trying to build out of, that's sort of where the resolution and character limits kind of get in the way a bit. Because until then, you know, you don't really have many of those issues. 11 to go. I think we're almost there. Are we? No. Oh well, they're gonna go all the way around. You know what? We're trying to build it out. Let's nuke him. We've beaten the stage. There we go. And that's sort of where this game gets filled in. I remember that being a mess on, like, even on the PC, when, you know, you see them all, you see them all just getting messed up. But on the 64, it just feels that much worse, to be honest. Alright, level 8. I do love the level titles here. And actually that music choice, I remember most of it is just covers straight off the Amiga version, and there's occasional, and this one I think's a little more original. I love that one, just for like, it gets you thinking about unorthodox solutions. Alright, 1996, level 9. And... Alright, I think we'll do a couple more levels and I'll wrap this up. As long as you try your best. Alright. That's right. Oh, I messed that one up. Okay, 6. I missed the initial. Okay. Alright, level 10. I'm going to call this the last one for this vid. I think this is long enough as it is, and you get the idea. I'd love to have shown more of the later stages, would love to have shown more things like that. Who knows, seriously, if that's something you want to see, I don't know if someone's actually done a full LP of this 64 version. I can certainly... no. Let's just, you can start again. Yeah. I remember with the demo, I can't remember if it works with the full version. You used to be able to, like, hold shift lock to pause, and you could actually still select and do stuff. Stop the menu, press button to try again. Okay. Right. Smile. I do like them. No, it doesn't work. No. No! I messed this one up. Alright. I'm going to call it a wrap there. Let's just hit uke. So that, my friends, is Commodore 64 Lemmings. It's an amazing conversion of a game that really is surprised that it made it out. It's really well done. I think it's amazing. It is hard to get a hold of. I'm still kicking myself because a copy actually went and auctioned at our local group very recently for very cheap. Far less than I paid to get this copy from the other side of the planet. Anyway, thank you again for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, please leave a thumbs up and consider, leaving your thoughts in a comment. They really, really do help other people, coming up in recommended lists, all of that. I don't say this because it's a joke. They really do help. If you enjoy what I'm doing and you want that to continue, please just leave a thumbs up. And it's a way of saying thank you. You may think this is just me waffling, but there's a lot of research that goes into doing these right. So, yeah. Anyway, if you subscribed, thank you for doing so. If you haven't, please consider it. As you know, these come out usually weekly, collectible other bits and pieces. And as always, thank you again for watching, and I'll catch you next time.